and that means he deserves the MVP. So does he have a point, Ramona?
He has a point. I think Devin Booker should absolutely be in the top 5 of your MVP ballot. I think there's 3 candidates who statistically are better than Devin Booker and in other measures too. But Devin Booker will be in my top 5 when I vote for MVP.
I said when I vote, we'll flex.
There you go.
Well, I mean, you have a vote too, right? Okay. I think his problem, and it's not his fault, is that he splits votes with Chris Paul. It's hard to tell who the MVP of that team is. I think he jumped ahead of Chris Paul because Chris Paul was injured with the thumb injury for such a long time. But Devin Booker is the MVP candidate on that team. And I think, 18 of the last 20 MVPs have come from teams that finished first in the conference. Like this is a different break that we've had now in the NBA, where it used to be best player on the best team.
Big Perk, I have a feeling that you have something to say about all this.
Yeah, I do. One, everything that comes out of Draymond Green's mouth ain't the gospel. That's the first thing. Second, I do think that Devin Booker should be in the conversation. But look, this is what I've been talking about for so long for us. What is the criteria for us winning the MVP? Let's not forget that we rewarded Russell Westbrook, and rightfully so, when he won the MVP. The Oklahoma City Thunder didn't have the best record in the league. Jokic, last year, they didn't have the best record in the league. Like, to me, when I look at the guy that's the MVP, it's the guy that's the most valuable to that team. If you take that guy off that team, what that team would be. And right now, I said it yesterday and I say it again. My MVP candidate is Joel Embiid for what he had to go through. For his one of his superstars, his all-star, and Ben Simmons quitting on him and him carrying the load, keeping them afloat. Also, right now, who's on the verge of winning the scoring title? That's Joel Embiid. The last big man to do that was Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal won the MVP. We have to keep the same energy, and we have to figure out where's the criteria and stop moving the goalposts every single season on what the MVP is going to be.
I mean, look, Devin Booker, it certainly seems to me that he's making a case to, at the very least, finish top 5 in MVP voting, and even that isn't a lock. You mentioned that 18, Ramona. 57 of 66 were the 1 seed or the 2 seed. Joel Embiid and the 76ers, though, they're up there in the standings in the other conference. So, Perk, let's take a little bit of a deeper look at your MVP candidate. Leading scorer in the NBA after last night, Joel Embiid has a narrow edge on LeBron James, who must play in 2 more games to qualify after a huge night for Joel Embiid in Indianapolis. So let's take a little bit of a deeper look at that performance from Joel Embiid and the 76ers. So the first quarter, just look at this. Gets off his feet, nifty, finger roll, beautiful. And then closing the first quarter, once again, look at this. Look how many defenders are on him, throws it up off the backboard, and he hits it. One more look at this. I mean, that's beautiful. And then you can go ahead, he can get it done on the inside too. Overpowering the smaller defender, lays it in. I mean, over and over and over again. He ended up finishing with 45 points, 13 rebounds. The Sixers win it. Here's Embiid after the game.
I told him that I've seen everything. Double team, triple teams.
Give him a damn MVP.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear.
I told him that I've seen everything because he tried a hard double. He used to do that in the past when he was with Atlanta. So I just told him, I was like, he ain't going to work. I've seen everything. I'm going to make the right plays. I'm going to find my teammates. And then I'm just going to be aggressive and get deep position.
When your former teammate is saying that you need to win MVP, I mean, that's saying a little something. But LeBron, he still needs to play in 2 more games to qualify for the scoring title, on top of putting up some big numbers. And Joel, obviously, with a monster output last night. So here's my question to you, starting with you, Matt Barnes. The scoring title, Perk just alluded to it. Who does it matter more to?
I think in this point, it's going to matter more to Embiid because I think it's going to stamp his MVP trophy he should be getting. But I think LeBron really wanted this. I mean, it's been a disaster of a season to think at his age, what he's been able to do individually this season, statistical-wise, the historic players he continues to pass. This would have been somewhat a bittersweet, like, yeah, this is a terrible season, but hey, man, Bron won the scoring MVP. But to your point, he needs 2 more games to qualify. Perk, I don't know if he can play in these next 2 to 3 games for the simple fact that he didn't play when it mattered last night in elimination game. So people are going to start saying, like, well, you didn't play against Phoenix, but you're going to try to come back and win the scoring title. So it could be a little tricky for him to come back and play. I would love to see Bron win the scoring title at this age, just because it's been such a nasty season for them over there in L.A.
Perk, you started to talk about this earlier. I think you were leaning towards Embiid.
Yeah, I am. Look, I feel like with Embiid, it was stamp him winning the MVP. Like I said before, the last big center to lead the league in NBA won the MVP, and that was Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, this guy's putting up 30 a night, and he's doing it on a consistent basis against whomever. And that's this was before James Harden. Right now, what he's doing and how he's carrying the load in the tougher conference, I have to say it matters most to Embiid. But I will say this to you guys. I strongly believe that LeBron James should not want to win the scoring title. And this is why. Your team cannot be 17 games under 500 and miss the playoffs on the super team and you win the scoring title. I feel like that would be a bad look for Bron, because how would that look for anybody that is sitting at the table for us the GOAT conversation, and you're sitting at the table, you're saying, hey, I won the scoring title, but my team didn't make the playoffs, they didn't make the play-in, and we finished 17 games under 500. It just don't look good.
That's a good point, Perk. I know what you're saying. I think being able to say you're the oldest scoring champ ever at age 37 and almost a half, okay? 37, almost a half for LeBron James.
Oh, man.
That's 2 years older than Michael Jordan was when he won his last scoring title, who is the current oldest player ever to win it. I don't think LeBron can win it now, though, too. I don't know how you justify playing in 2 of the last 3 games. When you, like, my understanding, honestly, with his ankle injury, if this is an injury that would have kept him out 2-3 weeks in the regular season, he only played in that game the other night because they had to win it. And so he and Anthony Davis gave it a go. It set him back a little bit. I don't know how you can put yourself out there. Plus, if he plays, he can't just play. He has to try to score 30 because that'll make his numbers go down.
You got to shut both them down, AD and Bron, for the rest of the season.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? LeBron James is in a different conversation than everyone else, right? And so when you start to put him in that conversation with Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and you start to set the bar and say, all right, well, let's go back and look at when Jordan won the scoring titles or the multiple scoring titles that he won. What was their record with the Bulls?
Early, it was terrible.
If you go back and you see...
But we don't even remember.
That's
the point. He's the oldest scoring champ, but I don't remember that year, but... He has it. He has that title.
I think it would have looked nice.
I just
nice
don't
talking.
think it's
We're going to have a chance to dig into this a little bit more later in the show, both the Suns and the Lakers, because still ahead on NBA Today. Kyrie, he went bonkers. Did y'all keep that momentum rolling tonight against the crosstown rival Knicks? And I said it, we're not done with the Lakers. Our Dave McMenamin joining us for more Laker fallout. How different will that roster look next season? And Aaliyah Boston of the national champion Gamecocks joins NBA Today in a matter of minutes. We'll be back.